Welcome back to my channel. I have been gone for a little while. Christmas kind of took me by storm this year. But I thought I'd come back with this new winter folio that I've created, which I call Gothic Aura. I'm going to give you 1 minute to watch me walk through it. So I'm going to just do a quick, this is what it looks like finished, and then we'll walk through how to put it together. Okay, here is all the pieces that I need, and we're going to start with putting together the folio cover. You can see that I printed on both sides, and it's very important to get them all right side up when you do this. So I cut and scored everything so that you wouldn't have to watch me do that, but I will leave instructions with the kit so that you know where to cut and score, where to score everything. Cutting out is pretty simple. Okay, so basically I like to line these up as best I can before I put on any glue. And I do this so that I get a nice consistent finish there. All right, now I will use glue on this part right here. And of course I touched it so it became unaligned. All right. And then you just press it down. And we're going to give it a minute to dry, but the first thing I do is check to make sure that all my folds work, that everything is okay within the layout. So I'm going to put that aside for a minute. And I'm going to do the prep work I need on the waterfalls, which is I have to choose from these what I'm going to use. Now, on the last one, I used the words. And on this one, I'm going to use numbers because I wanted to try it with numbers. So put each one with its right owner. 3 here, 4 here. Where did my one go? And these are hard because they get lost. They're so tiny. All right, some people like to use tweezers for this. I feel like I'm less competent when I have the tweezers. All right, so here we are. We have them all ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're just going to stick on the label for each one. I usually check both sides to make sure there's nothing really sticking out there. And to get that to come up against the line on the end of the picture. All right, so this is called Gothic Aura. I know why. I'm in the middle of winter, so I like to make darker things in the middle of winter. I live in the Pacific Northwest, so it gets dark here at still before 5 o'clock. Not quite 4:30 anymore. But so it's dark and cold. And when I'm sitting in my classroom, I love in my office, the coziness of darker and Gothic things really hit me. So that was what my inspiration was. Tried to get in some elements of Gothic architecture and just some of the more brooding elements that I could think of. All of these ones are in graveyards with lots of pretty flower on top of them. So that's the Gothic sort of accent to it. All right, while we're still giving it a little bit of time to dry, I'm going to do this envelope. So this envelope is really simple one. It is, it prints on one side and then you have this on the other. So I just one bead of glue on each edge. Okay. All right, and then I will eventually put something right here to hold that in. On my last one, I used one of my journal things that you get with the notebook part of it, and I'll probably use something similar again to indicate that there might be a journal card in there, or I may not and just leave it round one right there. All right, so this envelope I'm going to glue when we get a chance. All right. Usually when I make my envelopes, and these are already inked, so they are ready to have this done, I put the closer on it when I make it. It also will need a little bit of time to cure before I'm going to put it in. I'm doing all this prep work first. All right. All right, I'm going to do it like that. And sometimes when I use this type of a closure where it's a flap that's held in by something like that, I will, while it's drying, put something a bit heavier on top of it. All right, and this is the last one. This is the tag envelope. It's a little bit long, but I like that. All right. I think that's everything that needs to be done prior to starting the work on the inside. So I love these little envelopes. I'm going to look for a closer for that one. Let's see. Oh, I'm going to use the owl. There we go. All right. I gave lots of buttons in this one because I love buttons, but also because I'll show you in a separate video. I'll show you how to make my new favorite thing, which is these easy little tags that have an eyelet in them, and then I have another one back here. So it flips open. It's like a little secret tag. So I will do a video on how to make those. All right. Make sure that's in the right place. And since I said I was going to do this for this one, I will do one more here. Yeah, that's a good one. I will say that you can see a stack here of just plain ones. And what this is I have enough leftover paper that I can make these plain ones. And I probably don't need them for this project, but I will use them for future projects like the tag that I was just showing. Okay, so last little closure here. And then we'll set those to drying while we do the inside of the folio. Okay, bringing back out my folio. There is no requirement that you do this like I do this, so feel free to switch around at will, but I'll show you how I envisioned it going together. This one is one I sometimes use folios that I purchase a template for, but this one is one I made myself. That means I made all of the elements, the pockets and the cover and everything using Adobe Illustrator. And then I put all together the elements and their pictures in Photoshop, which is probably my tool of choice. I pay for Adobe because this is what I do now. And it's easier to have a paid account when you want to do as much as I want to do with Adobe. And so I usually wait. They have a good deal every year around Christmas time, and then I get that one. Okay, so there we go. One more pocket. And like I said, you don't have to do it like this. You can do it completely differently if you want to. You can swap them. You could put the belly band out here. This one has a notebook that comes with it, which is just 8 pages folded in half and then a cover. And those things will, that will help us long term. You don't have to, again, do this. But I am going to put my journal spot over here. Now, this is something else I didn't do in the first one, but I want to do in this one. And that is, I have the thing I want to go. Put in a round circle button in the middle of the belly band. That is purely for decoration. So I'm going to make sure it's in the middle. So I'm going to use my measuring. All right. And then I've done this 1,000 times where I've actually put the glue on the circle and then realize it's on too much of the circle. So glue the belly band, not the circle. All right. So there we go. And then we will put this on. Let's see where that is. All right. I use the creases for positioning because this belly band is just going to go right here. All right. There is no law that says a belly band must go in the middle of the page, but it can if you wish it. Okay. All right, now we are going to place these. All right, we start with number 1. All right. These I like to get in the middle as well, so I'm trying to see, like visualize where the middle is. You can, of course, measure, but you also don't have to be perfect. Now I'm just looking to make sure it's straight. That's the most important one to get in the right place, because you're going to do the other ones based off of where these are. Okay, then for the next one, you'll see I'm going to butt it right up against the end of the tab. No. How did I do it over here? Let's look. Oh, I did do it that way. Yeah, okay. So, butt it right up against the end of the tab. And that way, there we go. There's 2, 1 and 2. Let's get 3. I will speed through the rest of this. Okay, there it is. That was where that went. This is the next thing to place. All right, 2 ways you can do this. You can do it as just a regular envelope, or if you want another tuck space, you can put another tuck space there. I'm going to do it with a tuck space this time. So I am going to only do the 3 sides, not the top. It's like a little hidden pocket. All right, that is your basic tableau. You have lots of things to place things in the other one. I didn't have a bigger envelope. I decided to make one after I made that. So those are where those go. The notebook goes right here. You can decorate as much as you want or as little as you want from this point forward. And I am going to do a separate video with the decoration so you can see how I use all the other elements. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.